Deliberate means 철저한 or 고의의. or 철저한. What is the concept? Deliberate learning. What is the concept? What is the definition of deliberate learning? What is it? Does learning happen without planning schemes or plots? What does this author suggest in terms of learning foreign languages? What do we need to consider while learning a foreign language? What is it?
Using word card.
Yes, so that is a kind of strategies, the learning strategies. Okay? If you organize your learning in different specific stages and strategies, that means your learning is deliberate. So deliberate means well planned or thoroughly designed. Do you understand? If you have a well planned learning, agenda or schedules. That means you are, let's go back to what we were discussing. So when something is well planned or something is well or thoroughly designed, that means you have deliberation. You have a deliberate learning. You have a deliberate plan. 철저한. Okay? So you don't study a foreign language, you don't learn a foreign language by wasting your resources, by wasting your time. Okay? Probably you're doing that way. So I was actually impressed by what the authors say. Deliberate learning is very efficient and effective. So it's worth doing it. The very first sentence here. Right here, right? Okay. Here I happen to come up with these questions for you guys. How much have you been in charge of your own learning? Are you in charge of your learning? In charge of your own learning. Are you in charge of your own learning? Yeah, like you have full responsibilities for what you do. Okay? You, Dustin, is your study under your control? Or is your study getting out of control? You try to, place your study, everything you do in Hagwons or in school, under your influence or under your control? Really? Did you ever ask your teachers, like cram school teachers? What is a cramming school teacher? What is a cram school? This is cram school. That's right. And in America, there's no such terminology, Hagwon. Nobody knows by the name Hagwon. They recognize this sort of school or academy as a cram school. Okay? Right? Did you ever ask any of your cram school teachers to help you plan your study? Or did you ever give questions, right, in advance to your teacher? I mean, of your teacher. That is right. So you are not doing this. You're not applying deliberate learning. Okay? What is the optimal? This is better. What is the this stupid idea of using these pens? They don't work for me. What is the optimal proportion? Right? Between your teacher's intervention and your own leadership or your own control. Okay? That means you can let your teacher intervene in your study, like let him or let her teach you basic stuff, fundamental stuff, or applications too. And you can let the teacher give you lots of homework to do. Okay? Right?
Yes.
But do you even give your teacher, your cram school teacher's burden to answer like tons of questions you have in store in your mind? You never do that. And so cram school teachers are so busy answering your question. No, it's actually the other way around. You guys are so busy answering those questions given by your cram school teachers. I'm not talking about your school teachers. You barely raise your hand and give questions. Meantime, your teacher, gives you lectures on mathematics, physics, sociologies, blah blah blah. You never stand out in front of your class members. You don't, do you? Do you sometimes step out of where you are and give some questions to your teachers? The questions are not always about what you have been taught. These questions can be out of the current concept or topics discussed by your, the subject teachers. You can give some question that is not totally related to what's been taught, but these questions must be related to the basic concepts of the subject, like mathematics and physics, biology. Okay? But do you sometimes do that? I used to do it. That means I was enjoying the lectures. I was enjoying the lectures. By looking at yourself in the mirror, dude, I can take pictures of you. You were like, whatever. So let's go back to the questions previously I gave you. What is the optimal proportion, 비율? Proportion means 비율. Okay? Between your teacher's intervention, a cram school teacher or school teachers, whoever you're dealing with, your teachers, and your own leadership or control of the lesson. What is it? 2, 8. That is the optimal. That's what I was taught when I was in this TESOL program, the Canadian TESOL program, like I took the test course at the one of the top maybe TESOL courses colleges in Canada. Anyway, so 8 and 2. What about this class? 9 and 1? No, I got 9, you got 1. Stop nodding your heads. This is a poor thing for yourself and me and myself too. It's not great. It's not great at all. Okay? Anyway, so I'm now officially asking you to give me questions. I love to get questions. Okay? That doesn't necessarily mean that you can give the questions about my life. No. Like that's really, out of place. Yeah, as you said, word cards. Very, very important. So I prepared word cards myself. Oh, where are they? I made word cards. I can't locate them. Oops. Okay, here we go. The word cards. Can you guys read this? Immigrant. How do you define immigrant, the word? Can you try? Immigrants. Repeat after me. Immigrants are people who move in our community to look for better opportunities for themselves and for their children. Can you repeat? There's one specific idea of how we should memorize words and expressions. You should have an interval. You look at the word, look at the sentences, right? And you try to hold it in your mind for a certain period of time. And then you can write them down. All right?
Okay.
There is, where can we find that part? It's like we have to let the words linger in our mind for a while, then you can write them down. Where are we now? Come on. Okay, here, activity 5. Activity 5, page 33. Here we go. Page 33. Okay, here we go. Yeah, activity 5.4, delayed copying. Can we read all together? Ready, set, go. Choose a useful and relevant text around 200 words long and about 20 lines. Read to understand it with the help of dictionary if necessary, not all the time. Like she said, what does deliberate mean, David? Because I didn't, bother to look up the words myself in the dictionary. I don't even know what it means. Yes, that's good. But this book, the author also suggests that we can look up the word, in the dictionary if it's necessary. Okay, then look at the first 4 or 5 words in the text and try to hold them in your memory. And then copy them down onto a piece of paper without looking back at the text. As you work your way through the text to copying it, try to hold longer sequences in your head, like not a 5 or 6 words, but more than that, like longer than, like a 1 whole sentence or 2 sentence or 3 sentence. Okay? And so let's go back to our practice exercise. define immigrants. Can you exactly recall what I exactly said? Dustin. Oh, very similar. Oh, yes. Okay, that's good. That's very impressive. Yes, immigrants are the people who move in our community to look for better opportunities for themselves and their children. Why is it even possible for me to recall the sentences exactly as same as the previous one? How is it possible? Is it because I made up the sentence? Partly, but why? This is how I construct sentences. The mechanism is always the same. He has been taught those mechanisms. The problem is he easily forgets the mechanisms. Right? So here we go. Very, very effective, efficient, okay? These methodology might work for you guys when you prepare for your final examination coming up. This week we will start again. Are you happy? Okay, you're not? All right, let's go back. Page 28. Bless you. Okay, here we go. Word cards. And another example, here we go. Guys, do you know the two kinds of plants in the nature? One is flowering plants, and the other is conifers. Conifers are needle-leaf plants, and broadleaves are the flowering plants. Okay, you don't know. What about photosynthesis? 3 elements: carbon dioxide, sunlight, and water. Mule? Are you talking about a mule? Mule is like a donkey-like animal, horse-like animal? No. Okay, so we can keep practicing this. Word cards, very important. And anybody had a chance to look up the meaning of the words concorddancers? What is a concorddancers? Here, concorddancers. What does that mean? Concorddancers. So as well as the word card learning, and we can also use the concorddancers like a second, the alphabetic order like A, B, C, D. Oh, concorddancers are found in any the library. You want to locate exact location of the book that you want to borrow from that library. So what do you do? They're like Dewey Decimal classifications. Like there's a science and the food, okay, or these periodics mean 정기 간행물, and science and novels, non-fiction, fictions, things like that. So then you can go to a drawer type of, what do I say? There's a huge drawer, and you can open one of them. You can look through it. Oh, I found this. The book, the location of the book. That is a concorddancer. 색인, alphabetic 색인. Study words and grammar. Good. So, I also prepared this. Can you tell me? Yeah, this is like word cards. The activities that you guys are going to experience at this moment is partly related to concorddancers. But I'm sorry, I didn't put them in a alphabetic order. Okay, how about this? Since two functions, two meanings of since. Yes. And oops. What does this 즈음에? It's by the time. 과거 완료. had PP. 사익동사 3개. make, have, let. 주목 목적. 이때 강조금은. Yeah, things like that. You may use these cards for grammar learning and vocabulary learning. So word cards are very efficient. All right. Okay. Now, okay, here we go. I actually had a lot of fun on this page. Okay, using word cards to learn the vocabulary is just one step in learning a word. Using word card is a deliberate learning strategy and it fits into the language-focused learning strand of a course. And number 1, write the words to be learned one side of small card and its translation on the other side. That's what I did. Okay, here we go. See? This is exactly what the author suggests. I did it. What does this try to say? These words were from the mock test 2023, the June's mock test 2024, first grade or high school. 작년 고등학교 1학년 6월 모의고사. No? Fictional. Bias. Likelihood. Characteristic. Integrate. Prone. Possess. Word of mouth. Poverty. Is be likely to. And reliable. Okay? So I made them. It's great. Exactly what this part of this page or this chapter suggests us. Okay? And here, number 2, in the beginning, start with the small packs of cards about 15 or 20 words. The difficult ideas should be learned in small groups to allow more repetition and a more thorough processing. As the learning gets easier, increase the size of the pack. More than 50 seems to be unmanageable simply for keeping the cards together and getting through them all in one go. Okay? Space of repetitions. The best spacing is to go through the cards a few minutes after first looking at them. So this is how it goes. So we study this all like 50 words. Okay? Then I put them away. It's like 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later, I can bring them again. We're going to try it again. Things like this. Okay? What is it? Cognitive. Okay? Then we learn this, put them away, and 10 minutes later, bring it up. Okay? This is how it goes. All right? And 4 words which are difficult to learn that use the depth of processing techniques like a keyword technique. Keyword technique is this. When you look at the word okay, here we go. This is keywords. Companies, goods, profits. Let's make a sentence by using these words. Companies produce. What does it mean, produce? 만들다, 생산하다. Companies produce goods to make profits. Okay? So it's keywords. 3 keywords. Try it again. Companies make products. Products what? Companies produce goods to make profit. Okay? How about these two? This is actually, we can find these. Okay, make sure that number 5. Okay, number 4. Let's go back. Okay, number 4. 4 words which are difficult to learn. They use depth of the processing techniques like keyword techniques. Oh, this is keyword techniques. And think of the word in the language context and situational context. So where can you find this word, warm-blooded animal? What kind of book can we find this particular word? In a science book or biology book. Okay? Okay?
네.
And then where? Where exactly? Here. These are two words are what? These two packs of words are actually related to the animal classifications. So let's call myself a biology teacher here. Can you read? Vertebrates in warm-blooded animals. Vertebrates are animals that have spines, backbones. Backbones. So most vertebrates are warm-blooded. Okay? But tell me some example of vertebrates that are cold-blooded. The animals that have spines but are not able to regulate the body temperature. Reptiles. What is reptiles? Reptiles. Serpent. The Satan that appeared before the Adam and Eve. Serpent. What is it, serpent? The snakes, crocodiles, lizards, chameleons. Okay? They are all turtles too. They're all reptiles. Okay? But amphibians are. Amph means environment. Amph is a Latin word, Latin prefix, which refers to or stands for the environment. So bi means two. What are the animals that are able to reside both in the water or on land? Frogs. Amphibians. So amphibians. Amphibians. Are amphibians vertebrate? Yes, they are. Are amphibians warm-blooded? No, they're not. Okay? What am I making now, guys? I'm making the context. I'm making the context. So, contextual clues. Remember, contextual clues. Contextual clues help students get to know the words, the vocabularies. Do you understand? So this is how we create the environments in which we pick up vocabulary much easier than the other. For example, I'm an English teacher. Hey, vertebrate. What is it? 척추동물. What about warm-blooded animal? 온연동물. Okay. 온연동물. 척추동. Okay. No, it's bad. Then what's more suitable? I created the contextual clues by which you can figure out what they mean. For example, what did I say? Vertebrate. Vertebrate. Yes, spines, and vertebrates are mostly warm-blooded. Then I gave you some examples, some cases, some example of the vertebrates. Okay? Contextual clues. Contextual clues. And okay, then this book also tells us this is totally bad for the language learner to study or learn vocabulary with the excuse me,